Slow down or burn out. That's what happens, right? Slow down or burn out. I absolutely just had a lesson in that the past 3 weeks because I've been on vacation with my family, which is why we haven't recorded. My fault. Actually, Cass was in Florida too. She slowed down a little bit in Florida too. And I slowed down with my family in Italy and Greece. And we had an absolutely amazing time. I have grown adult children, so it was super easy to do a bunch of planning, and we just enjoyed each other for 22 days. We got stuck in the airport for 2 days, so it was longer. Slow down or burn out. I learned my lesson immediately getting off the plane in Rome. People take their time in the streets. People take their time to drink their coffee. People take their time to eat. And there is so much walking and so much to see that you just have a little snack and then you go see maybe something else. You know, like we went to Pisa and we went to the Balkans and we went to a couple cities in Greece and we went to, I don't even know, it was like 16 different cities all around Italy, Greece, Croatia. Absolutely beautiful. Breathtaking scenes. Maybe I'll share some pictures if you haven't been. Or if you live there, I'm so happy for you. It's incredible. We just had such a wonderful time. But I am very hyper. I am very high strung. I'm the kind of person that before I do anything for myself, for example, I know I've mentioned this before. If I go for a 5-mile run, it takes me about 50 minutes at the most. There's some hills that I walk, so it's like anywhere between 8 to 10 minute miles. But before I go, knowing that I'm going to be gone for 50 minutes, I start my laundry. I wipe down my counters. I log into work to make sure that no one needs me for the next 50 minutes, especially if I start super early and then I take a break. Usually that if I'm running, that's kind of my lunch hour, and then I just work through the rest of the afternoon. If that sounds familiar, if you're doing all this kind of stuff and you're helping others make their millions, this might be an episode for you. But if you've learned to slow down, because maybe you've burnt out before, or maybe you're just wanting to learn how to slow down, this is the episode for you. Let's talk about it. So, why a natural, relaxed life matters. Okay, and I learned this. In the past 3 weeks, I've learned this, especially in Italy. The kind of life where you're not always sprinting towards the next thing. How do you get to that? Where you can breathe, think, feel human, be in the present. We barely used our phones unless we were using Google Maps, right? I want to talk about this because it's not just a nice idea or some dreamy wellness fantasy. It's actually necessary, especially for people like us who struggle with anxiety, overstimulation, burnout, and let's be real, constant poop-related drama, right? Do you know that I did not get one stomachache for the 22 days that we were in Italy and in Greece? Not one. Now, is the food different? Probably. Did I eat lighter knowing that we were going to do an average of 20 to 40,000 steps a day? Yes. I just want to explore some things this morning about slowing down and what it really looks like, how it can help us feel like ourselves again, and what we can learn from other countries like Italy, like Greece, who have mastered the art of taking life a little slower. So if you're from there, you know, I will not be able to speak anywhere near what I should because I've only been there. I was only there for 3 weeks, right? But so send me an email if I'm completely wrong and I'll edit this episode. But we noticed that in the afternoons anytime between 1 and 2, stores closed down. People took siestas. They rested. They had lunch and then they rested and then they reopened from, I would say, 3 to 6, most of the stores. So there were times that we were out and about. We would have lunch around noon and then we would say, all right, where do we want to go to next? But all the doors were closed. Everyone was resting. So what did we do? We just took the opportunity to walk out of the city and see other great things. Or rest. We rested some days too. Why are we addicted to the hustle? Okay, why are we addicted to the hustle? Let's talk about why slowing down feels so hard, right? Like I woke up this morning, the first thing I did was look at my emails. You know that that's the wrong thing. We've been taught that busy equals important, or maybe it equals success. Now, if you own your own business, you probably are busy. Because every day you're thinking, how can I do this? How can I be successful? How can I make more money, right? But you're allowed to have a couple hours in the day to rest and get your mind off of everything. You work hard. You know you do. If you're listening, you work hard because you want to make yourself better. And you saw this title and thought, okay, yeah, how do I slow down? If your calendar isn't packed, you feel like you're doing something wrong. The rest is a reward you earn after being productive enough, right? Just like I was saying, before I go for a run, I do all these things around my house. Why? Go for a run and then come back and do it, whatever. And let me just say, I bought into this lie for years. For years. I used to wear burnout like a badge of honor. Look at me go. I'm tired, overbooked, living off coffee and adrenaline. I must be crushing it. So yeah, I've climbed the retail corporate ladder a little bit, right? I love my job. I love it. But I've learned to just step back a little bit. I don't have to return the email within 60 seconds. I can think about what I want to write. I can step away and make another half a cup of coffee or something and then come back and write it. Years ago, it was like, quick. I've learned to just take that breath, especially if the person feels like maybe they're stressed, right? If we never want to put emotion to text, right, or emails, but if it sounds like it's something that's stressful, I take a deep breath because I want to make sure when I reply back to that person, they have everything that they need to take that deep breath and relax themselves. So I have to take a deep breath and relax for a moment before I get all the answers and then help them, right? Hustle culture is a trap. I'm just going to say it. It is a trap. It feeds anxiety. It destroys creativity. And if you're a business owner, you might know what that means. It disconnects us from our bodies. If you have something on the side, which I feel like a lot of us have, that small business idea that we want to take on. For example, I work Monday through Friday, but we have the 2 podcasts and I have my books and all of that, but it's a lot, right? And sometimes the day job destroys creativity. Or if, for example, I've been working on my hysterectomy book for a long time and it's just not hitting the emotion that I want it to hit. So I work on that for a long time and then I get back to work on a Monday morning and I feel exhausted. So it's not fair. It's not fair to either one. It's not fair to my job. It's not fair to my creativity. It feeds my anxiety and it just disconnects us, right, from our bodies. And then I just go, whoa, how was today? How was today? I was not in the present. And that's really what we want to do, right? So when you're constantly racing from task to task, your nervous system never gets a break. Are you feeling it? You live in fight or flight mode, right? Probably. You're not digesting well. You're not sleeping well. You're definitely not pooping well. It's either it's too much or it's not enough. And that's probably because you're not eating well and you're not hydrated enough because all of that goes together, right? I know I'm preaching to the choir on that one, right? I know y'all get it. It's not sustainable and it's definitely not the life to lead. So again, learned it in Italy in these past 3 weeks, just how to slow down. When I walk in the cities, Milwaukee, Chicago, I find myself walking right behind someone that I feel is walking too slow. When I was in Italy, I caught myself the first couple days. I was like right up on people like, what are they doing? I thought, what am I rushing for? I'm on vacation. Take a look at the sites, look up at the buildings, take some pictures, look at the alleys. Oh my gosh, there's so many cats in Italy and Greece. There's so many cats, wild cats everywhere. So I started taking pictures of all the different cats. And do you know that they're on the Google Maps? They're on the Google Maps. Like there's names. They named all these cats. So you could if you're a cat lover, you can just go find all the cats. Or if you are, if you like all the tourist things. We did some. We went and saw I believe it was in Sicily. Oh my gosh. My family will be mad at me. But we went and saw where The Godfather was filmed at the church. Yeah, it was. It was in Syracuse, Sicily, I believe. I could be wrong. My memory. But anyway, so, we did some of that stuff. We did some tourist things as well. But then we also just got lost in the cities and took our time and walked around. And, if we wanted gelato at 9:00 in the morning, they were open. We had it. Oh, I want to share something real quick. If you do decide to go to Italy, Greece, wherever, I'm going to share something that we learned from some of our guides. If the gelato, okay, if it's over the pan, if it's a big mound, it's not real gelato. It means that they keep it frozen. If gelato is down and flat with the silver pans and they have to dig it out, if they have, some of them had covers on them, They would take off the top. You would not see what it looked like. You would just tell them what flavor you wanted. If they take it from there and it's not a big mound, that's the real gelato. So just so you know, like as soon as they give it to you, it starts to melt because it's not frozen. All right. So there's a tip for you if you're going to Italy or anywhere out there where there is true gelato. That's how you find it. Don't go for the mounds and mounds of them. So what a natural, relaxed life looks like. It's not about quitting your job, moving to a farm. I mean, of course, unless you want to, right? I come from a family of farmers. It's amazing. They're very, very hard workers. And if so, add me. Invite me. I would love to come help you on the farm. It's about the little things. Things like taking time to eat a meal sitting down without your phone. When was the last time you did that? Walking outside just to walk, not to hit a step goal. I did that yesterday. Didn't even bring my phone with. We have a neighborhood here and it's like to the stop sign and back. I'm going to the first stop sign and back. It's like a mile and a half. Go to the first stop sign and back. I just went and it was beautiful out. Finally, 80 degrees. And as I don't know if you can tell with my voice, but I have a terrible, terrible cold. I brought a Italian cold home. So I just had to take a nice stroll and come back so that I wouldn't start coughing. How about saying no to things that drain you? Nope, can't do it. Nope, can't do it. Even yesterday, my husband was on full force, ready to do things around the house. And, we got to get back. We got to get back. He's amazing. But I was on a phone call and he walked up into my office and I was already at work and he said, "Hey, do you want?" He started asking me questions and I looked at him. I go, "You know what? I can't answer that right now." So basically I had to say no, but like, give me some time. So later, after I was doing some work and stuff, I went to him and I said, "Okay, what did you ask me?" And he knows that if I can't answer him right away, it's okay. Like, and because I verbalized that to him. "Hey, I can't think about that right now, but I'm going to come back by you and we're going to talk about it." And sure enough, by the end of the day, we had an answer. So think about that too. Creating margin in your day, right? Create the margin in your day. Create a pause. Create whatever you need to lead a natural, relaxed life. Doing one thing at a time instead of 5. Now, all right, so sometimes you get a job Monday through Friday, or if you're in retail, the Clopen Effect, a retail podcast, we talk about it all the time. You don't get Saturdays and Sundays off. You don't get nights off. We have a friend that sends Snapchats, and sometimes she's getting up at midnight. She's got to go do inventory. Sometimes the grind never stops. She's also very good at taking days off, though, where she won't answer her phone. She will rest. She will spend time with family. She cooks dinner with her family. She takes that pause. And so she's present with her family or with her husband, or she steps away from work. So, sometimes depending on your work or your creativity or, your small business, it's busy, 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 busy. And you just have to step away for a second and be present in something else. So when we slow down, we notice more. We notice our bodies. We notice when we're tired or overstimulated. We notice what actually feels good. And that's what we want to do, right? I found that when I give myself permission to live a little slower, I show up better for myself, for my people, and honestly, for my digestion too. Listen to my cough. Oh my gosh. The world doesn't fall apart if we rest. And I don't fall apart if we rest, right? We don't fall apart if we rest. Let's talk about what Italy gets right. Not to say that we don't get it right here, but let's just take a little trip mentally, anyway, to Italy. Italians are known for a lifestyle that prioritizes pleasure, rest, and connection. When was the last time you had any of those 3? Their meals are long. Their work days are broken up by rest. Their conversation, rich and unhurried. I tell you, there are more tables outside with people sitting. And you know what I did notice? Their cups were empty. So they had been sitting there for a while. Their coffee, cafe lattes, or their, Americanos, or whatever they ordered, they were empty. Or maybe it was a cappuccino in the morning and it was maybe noon and you don't order a cappuccino in the afternoon. It was empty because they had been sitting there catching up. They were unhurried. They were just hanging out. Businesses actually close midday for riposo. It's the kind of rest break, like a cultural siesta, like we mentioned. Food isn't rushed. Coffee isn't chugged in the car. It's enjoyed at a counter. Speaking of cars, holy cow, you got to be careful in Rome. They do not stop. It reminded me of Elf. The yellow ones don't stop. They don't stop. They don't stop. You just have to run across the road, which is fine. Which is funny because we're talking about slowing down, but they're very fast in their cars. Maybe they just want to get out of the car and go rest, have their coffee. I don't know. Standing still, being present. It's not rushed. Nothing is rushed except for the cars. Now that I think about it. And the idea of all this isn't laziness, it's living. It's living. And they do live longer, I heard from a local. They do live longer. They don't treat rest as an afterthought. It's built in and it's respected. Can you imagine if we did that here? So just take a moment. Like maybe you're thinking about how stressful your day is going to be today and go take a break in your car. Go take 5 minutes. Take a breather. Go have a cup of coffee or some tea and sit there for a while. Let that cup be empty for a little bit. It's okay. It's okay. The stress, the work and all, it's going to be there. Take care of yourself. If you could tell your boss, hey, I'll respond to this email after my pasta and sunshine break or after my walk break, how do you think your boss would react? And if they react, not so great, maybe you're not in the right job. I wrote that down. I'm trying to read my notes here. While I was walking through the streets of Italy and Greece and all that fun stuff, I was making some notes. If you could tell your boss, hey, I'll respond to this email after my pasta and sunshine break, what would your boss say? I actually worked for a company that they encourage taking walks outside. So everyone would leave for an hour and just go take a walk outside, especially in the summer. And I'm not saying Italy's perfect. This is just all things that I found in their culture, right? That I wanted to share. They get that humans are not machines. They understand that quality of life matters and we can learn from it. All right, so how do we slow down? Now that we've acknowledged it, now that we want to slow down, how do we do that? How do we bring some of that magic into our lives right now without booking a one-way flight to Rome, right? Like we did. Maybe. Well, okay, it was round trip. We're back with a terrible cold. Here are just a few small things that we can try. And maybe it'll help you too. Eat a meal without your phone, even just once a day. Or once a week, Mondays. Mondays are without your phone. Tuesdays are without your phone. Pick a day that you're without your phone. Sundays. Cass has reset days. It's so funny because she always said that they were reset days, and for me, I would never bother her because I thought that meant no phone. I'm going to do some laundry. I'm going to reset my mind. And it's funny the way we have that conversation. I'll have to get her on here and we can talk about it because we both had a different version of a reset day. And it actually works out great that we do now have reset days on Sundays. It's just like you stay away from your phone. You do your laundry. You take a nap if you want. You watch a movie if you want. You just have a reset day. So maybe that's what you do. Eat a meal without your phone or just take a reset day where your phone is shut down or maybe it's only on, your, in case of emergency people, you have it on focus. You don't go on the computer. You just spend time being in the moment and in the present. Take a short walk without tracking it. No podcast, no steps, just you. Don't put those headphones in. Don't put those earbuds, whatever you call them, whatever it is. There's so many different ones now. Protect your sleep. Go to bed 30 minutes early so that you can meditate and wind down because that time is very sacred. It's not about thinking about what happened during the day or what you're doing tomorrow. It's about healing yourself from the inside out. Schedule breathing room. Literally put nothing on your calendar for 15 minutes. Or if I know that I have to look through some emails, I'll block it. I'll block it for 30 minutes and 15 minutes I know will be for emails. The other 15 will be just to take a breather. Try it. Say no more often. You're allowed to rest without earning it. Ooh, that's a tough one, isn't it? You feel like you have to earn rest. If you're listening, you probably are someone like that. You don't have to. If you are tired or if you feel like you have to rest, go rest. It doesn't matter what time it is. It doesn't matter what day it is. It doesn't matter what you have for the day. Take 5 minutes. None of this has to be perfect. It's not an all or nothing. Try one thing at a time, whatever you want to do. Just notice where you can soften the edges, where you can pause, where you can let your nervous system breathe a little bit. So if you needed someone to tell you today, or anytime that you're listening to this, that it's okay to slow down, this is it. It's okay to slow down. You deserve a life that feels gentle, that honors your body, that makes space for joy and calm and connection. Hustle doesn't make you whole. Busy doesn't make you better. Sometimes the bravest thing that you can do is take a deep breath and stop rushing around. Stop rushing around. Okay, one more thing. I'm going to read off something that I wrote on my personal Facebook page to my friends who really appreciated it and, sent me some messages and said, great thoughts, all that fun stuff. So it was about 5 days ago. It was when we were in Venice. I said, quick early morning thoughts. Returning this weekend from a peaceful vacation through Italy, Greece, Croatia, Balkans, and so many more amazing places. The culture is noticeably different from the pace of life in the U.S. People are calm, polite, and happy to greet you as they pass in narrow alleys. Children roam safe and freely with laughter and curiosity. I heard more grazies in these few weeks than I have in years, and each one felt sincere. The food was clean. I didn't experience heartburn or a single stomach ache. I slept through the night for the first time in what feels like forever. My body and mind finally had a chance to reset. This trip reminded me of the power of slowing down, of being kind, of showing patience and taking time to truly understand others. There is a peace that comes from living in the moment instead of rushing through it. Bringing that feeling home means choosing to appreciate what we have, choosing to live softer, more present, and more grateful. Stress doesn't have to be the baseline. We can create something gentler, something better. Here's to living with intention, treating others with care, and making space for peace.